All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a huge question that pretty much every Python developer faces. When you're kicking off a new web project, which framework do you grab? We're talking about a real showdown between two giants. You've got the established, super flexible veteran in one corner, and in the other, the modern, high-speed challenger. So yeah, the big question: FastAPI or Flask? We're going to break it all down to figure out which one might be the champ for your next project.
Okay, here's how we're going to do this. First, we'll meet our two contenders. Then, we'll throw them into a 3-round matchup. We're talking speed, what it's like to actually code with them, and picking the right tool for the job. And then, of course, the final verdict.
All right, let's get into it. First things first, let's meet the contenders. You know, these two frameworks, they represent totally different ways of thinking about web development. So let's get to know them. So in this corner, we've got Flask. People call it a micro framework, and that's the key, right? It's super minimalist. It gives you just the bare essentials and then says, hey, you do you, add whatever you want. And that flexibility, that's exactly why it's been a massive favorite for, almost 15 years now? It's powering big-time services at places like Reddit, Netflix, and even Spotify. And in the other corner, you have the new kid on the block, the high-speed challenger, FastAPI. This one's way newer, and it was literally built from the ground up for one thing: performance. It leans hard into modern Python stuff like type hints and asynchronous support to build APIs that are just crazy fast. And that's why you see giants like Uber, Microsoft, and Shopify jumping on board. Okay, let's get to round one, the speed test. This is all about raw power. When you're talking about handling tons of traffic and scaling up, how do these two really compare? Let's find out.
You know, the core difference between them really boils down to this one idea: how they handle work. Flask is traditionally synchronous, or what we call WSGI-based. The best way to think about it: it's like a single-lane road. It handles one car or one task at a time. FastAPI, on the other hand, is asynchronous, or ASGI-based. This is your multi-lane superhighway. It can handle tons of cars at once, so one slow car doesn't block everyone else.
And that difference in architecture, whoa, it has some massive results when it comes to performance. I mean, look at these benchmarks. A Flask app on a typical setup might handle something like 4,500 requests a second, which is fine. But FastAPI, because it's asynchronous, it just screams past that, hitting over 20,000. That's not just a little faster, that's a whole different league. And listen, this isn't just about winning a benchmark test to brag about it. No way. That 4 to 5 times performance jump, that's absolutely crucial for high-traffic apps. Think about anything that's constantly waiting for a database or another API to respond. In those situations, that speed is everything. It's the difference between a snappy user experience and a frustrating one. Okay, so speed is a huge deal, for sure. But it's not the whole story, right? What's it actually like to sit down and write code in these frameworks? That's what round 2 is all about: the developer experience. And this table just lays it out so perfectly. It really shows their different philosophies. With Flask, the whole idea is bring your own tools. You get total freedom, which is cool, but it means you're responsible for finding and plugging in things for data validation or API docs. FastAPI's philosophy is more batteries included. It handles all that critical stuff for you right out of the box. You get automatic data validation with this amazing tool called Pydantic, and it even generates interactive API docs for you. No extra work. So what does all that built-in goodness actually get you? Well, it makes developing stuff so much smoother. The automatic docs, the rock-solid data validation, the native async support, it all means you spend way less time writing boring boilerplate code and more time actually building cool features. And you'll catch bugs way earlier, too, sometimes before you even run your code, all thanks to its modern use of type hints. All right, for our final round, we're going to get to the most important question of all. Let's put the benchmarks and the feature list aside for a second. Which one of these should you actually pick for your project? This is about matching the right tool to the right job. And really, the choice comes down to what you're trying to build. If your goal is a more traditional website, maybe with pages rendered on the server, or if you just want total flexibility to pick every single piece of your tech stack, Flask is an awesome choice. But if you're building an API where performance is king and you want all those modern features like async and type safety, well, FastAPI was literally built for that job.
Yeah, Flask really has its sweet spots. Its simplicity and how easy it is to get started make it the perfect tool for whipping up a quick website, an internal dashboard, or building out a prototype, a minimum viable product. When you just want to get something up and running fast without a lot of fuss, Flask is your best friend.
And then there's FastAPI. Its raw speed and modern toolkit make it the hands-down champion for the really demanding stuff. We're talking high-performance APIs for microservices, real-time apps like chat or IoT devices, serving up machine learning models. Basically anything that needs to handle a ton of simultaneous users without breaking a sweat.
So, after 3 rounds, we've looked at speed, developer experience, and the best use cases. Who comes out on top? Who wins the showdown?
So after all of that, who's the winner? Well, here's the thing. There isn't one. This showdown doesn't end with a clear knockout. The real question was never, which one is better? It's always, which one is the right fit? The best framework is the one that lines up perfectly with your project's goals, your need for speed, and what your team is comfortable with.
And we'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. The incredible rise of FastAPI isn't really just about a cool new tool. It points to a much bigger shift happening in our industry, a massive move towards performance and doing many things at once. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As our apps get more and more demanding, is the future of web development just asynchronous by default? Thanks for watching.